We don't do that here.
But the cream rises to the top.
All right, let's fucking boogie. Ultimate fucking casual. We're back, baby. Ear pokes, not eye pokes for us, but it is November 17th at the moment. So who knows, by the time you're listening, the world may have exploded. I don't know. Things change pretty suddenly. But Nathan, Isaac, my pals, how are we doing?
Doing well, man. Doing well.
Before we get into the MMA stuff, just a little bit of boxing chatter. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson happened on the 15th. Yes. Or no. I don't know. What takeaways? What are you thinking after that interesting display?
Whenever I saw the knee brace, any hope of like some miracle KO sort of just left my body. It was just like sad. It was like more sad than I thought it would be to watch Tyson in there. Like he looked like, really old and like, I don't know. I mean, I'm glad he didn't get like hurt or anything like that. Not even knocked down, but it was still sad to see.
He definitely looked 60. But for being 60 years old, he was in pretty solid shape when compared to your average, retiree or senior citizen.
Yeah, I mean, he did his best. I mean, for 58 years old, he was in pretty good shape. But then the stuff that he put out afterward, talking about how he almost died back in June, whenever they were going to do the fight originally. He had 8 blood transfusions. I was like, man, what are we doing here? What is the commission doing? They had to know that, and then they still let him go on with this fight. I don't know. I'm just glad he's okay. Hopefully Jake Paul stops fighting like geriatrics, but we'll see.
Yeah, I guess for me, like the fight unfortunately was as expected. Like you hope. I think the best outcome you could have hoped for was him not to get very seriously hurt, but he still took some big punches that were not fun to watch. And what Isaac was saying, like, how could the commission let this happen? I mean, there's a reason they went to Texas, and Texas, I think, as a commission, from what I've heard, is they do the least amount of checks. You pass the physical, and you do like 2 or 3 heart tests, and that's all they care about. So like they probably, this whole thing about these blood transfusions, that's the first I've heard about it, but the Texas commission probably didn't even ask or care to ask. They're just like, well, can you pass these things that we have?
Does your heart work? Do your lungs work? All right, you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you breathing when you step into our office? Okay,
Yeah.
we'll sanction this.
Yeah.
I feel like they have to actually get this squared away because, I don't know, I mean, we've been seeing like these older guys, like we saw it with Holyfield, and now with Tyson, like something's gonna happen eventually. And like, are they just waiting until someone dies
Probably
to do something about it? I mean, like,
because
we can't really have that. I mean, that's not really the sport anymore.
It's just that, like, I would hope they wouldn't wait, but Netflix apparently drew like 60 million viewers, and the tickets for the event were like $500 for nosebleeds.
And they sold out?
They didn't quite sell out, but they sold a lot.
They packed the house.
Very expensive. Yeah, And so it's like, unfortunately, they're going to need something tragic to happen before they change, because the money's too good to keep trotting out guys like ancient legends like, Tyson and Holyfield.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, if they do continue to do it, I mean, we're just going to have to keep hoping that nothing bad happens. But I don't know. I guess they're waiting until something tragic happens.
I have a feeling that as the broadcast was winding down, and Kate Scott, fucking Nay Abdo, was talking with Andre Ward, and Andre Ward seemed a little bit flustered, and he was saying like, "Oh, I'd like to see him do that against somebody younger than Tyson." And then Kate, of course, was like, "Oh yeah, do you have any names in mind?" And then he paused. He's like, "Now is not the time for that, but it's somebody younger." Like, man, you're talking about yourself, you fucking butthole. Why don't you just say so?
Yeah, we know.
Just fucking say so, dude. It's fine. I think it feels a little bit I don't know, noble, poetic, that Andre Ward sees this happening and he's like, man, this is fucking ridiculous. You can't be doing this to our old timers. They're fragile enough as it is, having taken concussion after concussion throughout their lives. So fucking leave them alone. And if I have to lace up again to stop you, then that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, at some point, boxing has to fight back.
Right.
At some point.
Well, our hero may have thrown down the gauntlet because Artur Beterbiev has officially challenged Jake Paul.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Dude,
He's giving
everyone
him a
is going
shot.
out.
He's giving him a shot at all the belts.
Beterbiev, Berlanga, I think, called him out.
Berlanga called him out too.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, you will make money, so I think that's why people are doing it. But I don't know.
So legitimate question: how many days after, if Jake Paul were to fight Beterbiev, how many days in the hospital is he going to spend? I'm not trying to be like hyperbolic or anything. I sincerely think that Beterbiev would hurt Jake Paul in a very serious way.
He'd at least take the ambulance ride to get checked out afterwards. At the very least.
Yep. That would not.
Yeah, unless it was just like a one-shot KO and like he woke up after like 30 seconds. But if like it went the distance, which it probably does not, but if it went like 5 rounds, Jake would be done physically.
Yeah, lacerations,
his body
to the
would be
kidneys,
pummeled,
liver,
organ damage, like
bruised
it'd be
ribs.
bad.
There's a real
Honestly,
chance
yeah.
he wouldn't fight again if he fought Beterbiev next.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing what actual boxing is like. I mean, his antics would not work. His antics would not work at all.
I was thinking, because of course everyone's thinking he's going to call out Canelo, right? Because that would be legitimately a huge money fight. Wouldn't be very, I don't know. I wouldn't like it as much as like I do enjoy the circus a little bit, just to be a little bit of a fucking troll. But fighting Canelo, even though Canelo's pretty well undersized, he would probably stop Jake Paul. And in Discord, immediately after the fight, like we were just jokingly throwing names out, and somebody said Tank versus Jake Paul, and I said, unironically, not very seriously, Tank could knock out Jake Paul. I genuinely believe that.
Yes. I mean, it'd be like one of those things where the near 100-pound difference is what would make it like sort of interesting. But I mean, if Tank connects, which he's faster, has better muscle memory with boxing, combinations, everything. If Tank connects, I don't know if Jake Paul can take it. So I mean, I don't know. That's when you start getting to like, how low in weight, like what's the best boxer in the lowest weight that could beat Jake. That's Tank comes up in those conversations 100%.
Is Inoue
probably
a little bit too far?
Maybe.
He's a pretty
I
small
think
man.
If they were to knock out Jake, it would have to be like liver shot. Like those guys aren't reaching his chin, so they'd have to fold his body.
Yeah. Fucking clown show, of course. Anybody and everybody knew it from the beginning. Like, the only reason anybody was ever thinking Mike Tyson would do something, or they want him to do something, is just because Jake Paul hate. And that's really it. Even I expect that they were kidding themselves and like deluding themselves into thinking it. 60-year-old man.
I gotta say that it was nice to. I mean, I had friends reach out to me that have never seen a boxing fight before, and it is nice because I mean, it's people getting into your own interest, and
yeah,
it is a nice thing. I wish it was in another circumstance, not a 60-year-old Mike Tyson, but I do like that particular aspect of this like whole ordeal.
Yeah, actually, a buddy of mine texted me too, and he had been watching almost from the beginning, so he saw a lot of the fights. And segue, it happens every time we get together when there's boxing on, good boxing on. We start getting a little carried away with it because it's just too good to not talk about in depth. Unfortunately for you, you're gonna have to go to Patreon, look us up there, LVX Media Net, if you would like to hear the full discussion. We got to keep things moving for the sake of getting to MMA. I strongly feel that Topuria could. That was just something that's been on my mind lately, so I want to throw it out there. All right, into the MMA news before we start. 309, just top level headlines. How are you feeling about it?
309.
Yeah. If there's a particular fight that stood out or whatever.
I'm gonna say thank you to Stipe, like just to start with, because Stipe, 42 years old, out for 4 years, coming off like a pretty bad KO. He showed up, and I think he truly did, no stone left unturned. He did everything he could to show up in the best possible shape. He tried his best, and I mean, he landed on John a few times, but
we're getting a little too in the weeds for it, so there's going to be a fair amount of that's going to get cut out. So if you want to hear it, you're going to have to go to Patreon, homie. Sorry.
Little preview.
Yep, a little bit of a teaser, but we'll be talking about that the next time we sit down. So in the news, this one for personally fucking blew my top off. Mikey Musumeci signs with UFC. He's going to be starting off in their like grappling league, the whatever, like UFC Invitational or whatever they call it. Mm-hmm. So he's going to do that, but I think the intention is to get him to transition to MMA. So, like, one of the best, I guess, submission grapplers to ever live right now. Darth Rigatoni has arrived. That's really it. I don't know, unless you guys have thoughts on the Mikey signing.
I think this is good. I'm glad he's left ONE FC.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, it had its use, put his name in there and everything, but this is good, both for Mikey and the UFC. I'm excited to see what events they put on together, and then hopefully the eventual transition, like you said.
I need to figure out how to watch fucking Invitational now. All right.
And him moving over at like 28, he definitely has a lot of time to improve and hit his stride in MMA specifically.
He has been training Muay Thai for a few years with two of the best Muay Thai fighters on the planet, Superlek and Rodtang. So he knows what he's doing. Yeah. It might be just
like
a matter
very, very dedicated too. So
he is.
Like
he commits.
He's
himself.
not gonna do like half. He's not gonna half-ass anything.
I think it's a matter of getting comfortable with it.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, like, having the ground game, like, that's massive.
Yeah.
Like, it's harder to build that than it is to build the striking.
It would be a very bad idea to try to shoot on Mikey. That would just be a terrible idea. He will let you take him down. Yeah. But it's like a fucking spider pulling you into the web.
I mean, the way Mikey is, like, if you were ever to do like MMA, if someone hurts Mikey, let's say they knock him down or something like that, Mikey has the type of ground game where fighters, will think Mikey is hurt on the ground, but I can't go down there with him. Yeah, I can't go down there with him, and that's how good he is.
This is second nature to him, like the ground game. Yeah. Even if he is buzzed or whatever, doesn't matter. Yeah, that's just a really bad proposition for anyone.
Yeah.
Yes, I am very high on Mikey Musumeci. If you don't like it, I suggest checking out his grappling matches. They're really good, and I don't particularly care for grappling, but yeah. All right, on UFC 310 and the following Fight Night card. So the fights have changed, right? On the Fight Night card, it was supposed to be Ian Gary versus Joaquin Buckley, but now he's fighting Colby Covington, and Shavkat is fighting Gary.
Yes. So because Bilal had the bone infection, the UFC, I guess, negotiated with Gary to move him from the Buckley fight, and now Gary will be fighting Shavkat for UFC 310 as the co-main. It's not for any like interim title, but it's just for the number one contender. And Dana White has said whoever wins this fight will be fighting for the title. So yeah, that's how it's gonna be. And then Joaquin Buckley gets left with Colby Covington.
Another hamper man.
Yeah,
had to get thrown into wash.
Potential, high potential.
All right. So does Gary go from a knockout risk with Buckley to a submission risk with Shavkat?
It could go either way because Shavkat can do either.
He can brag. That's the whole thing.
I would think that Shavkat would probably try and take it to the ground because he's fight IQ is so high. Like, he doesn't entertain any of this. I'm gonna beat you at your own game. He's like, no. What's the easiest way I can win here? What are you worst at? And so I kind of think he's gonna try and drag him down to the ground and try and submit him here. He's not gonna let him get his like long range kickboxing going.
Yeah, I have a feeling this is gonna be like sort of like Khabib-esque, like mauling. Basically, you are not comfortable even for a second in this fight. Like, at least I think that's the game plan Shavkat's going to go for. It's a very, very interesting fight. You know, both undefeated. This is a great matchup. I'm really glad the UFC put this together.
All right. Anything more on these two news items?
UFC cooked. UFC cooked.
All right. Into some recaps here. We're going to go back to Friday, November 8th. This got moved from Atlanta back to Bangkok for some reason. One FC put on 169. Some fun stuff on here. I'll just throw out some highlights. Ayaka Miura submits Macarena Aragon. That's wonderful. Keep doing that. That was a fun one. Marcus Almeida versus Amir Ali Akbari. That was a heavyweight MMA. The ladies I just mentioned, they're atom weight, so that's a sub 100, I think. But yeah, Marcus, it was fun while it lasted. Cade Ruotolo, another grappling fucking phenom. He submits Ahmed Mujtaba. That was lightweights, and
holy shit, by the way.
Yes,
that was a great performance.
Yeah, Cade was saying that he wanted to demonstrate that he's more than a grappler. And that is, even though it ended by submission, that submission was set up with like excellent striking. So
racked him bad.
Yeah, he did. That was a fun one, and it's fucking quick. All of these ones I'm highlighting 5 minutes or less. Adriano Moraes submits Danny Kincaid in the second. With DJ retiring, the flyweight title is open. And Adriano's the number one contender. So whoever they put him in with next, probably going to be for the title. All right. Speaking of titles, Jackie Buntan, she gets the RJ tag. UD to claim the strawweight kickboxing. This is the first title. The first time they're putting a title on for this. So congrats to her. Moving up, Rodtang versus Jacob Smith. Flyweight Muay Thai belt. Didn't Rodtang like miss weight or something?
Yeah, he did, but I gotta say, bro, regardless, still an excellent fight.
It was very good, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks that he missed weight. I mean, he came away with the win, but he doesn't get the title, right?
No.
He does not get the title, yeah. Yeah, it was in one of the late rounds. I forget exactly when it was. I think second to last or in the last. But, man, he hit like a step-in elbow right in the eye. Man, it was bad. It completely, like, ruined Jacob Smith after that.
He was already having a rough time.
Yeah, no, I mean it was like a brutal fight. But yeah, this is tremendous fight.
Yeah, Jacob Smith, as the fight ended, he was like really frustrated with himself and was having a little bit of a hissy fit. All right, in the main event, Umar Khan, aka Rug, split decision over Anatoly Malikin to claim the heavyweight MMA title. I'm just going to say it now. Umar Khan beats the shit out of John Jones. Rug buries the bones. Absolutely not. It was a pretty crude display from both guys, but good to see Rug get a dub here. So, congrats.
Yeah.
That's it for 169. Unless you guys got anything else for it.
Nah. Some
right.
decent stuff, but nothing crazy.
All right, on the 9th, Fight Night at the Apex. Some fun stuff all throughout the card. Melissa Mullins missed weight, but got the knockout in 2 over RJ pick Claudia Segula. Tresean Gore submits Antonio Tricoli with a standing choke. I was very impressed.
Yeah, it
with
was really bad.
Mm.
Yeah, that looked like it hurt. This is Mackenzie Dern's boyfriend, by the way, Antonio Tricoli.
Ooh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, he might be out of the UFC. Like I would not be surprised if like sometime soon, like the next round of cuts, if he's out.
Yikes.
It's either that or one more loss and he's gone. But
Yeah, he's on a skid right now.
These are always like some of the worst finishes to watch, where they just like they're out and you just drop them, and they just hit the ground like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah. It just looked like it really hurt, man. The position just looked like it was bad.
Moving up, Damon Blackshear submits Cody Stamann in the first. It was fucking wild while it lasted, but it was like pure dominance from Blackshear. Sorry, Cody. Moving up, KO1, Charles Radke over Matthew Semmelsberger. It was really, really quick, so I put here, like, what did we learn anything from this?
I mean, Semmelsberger, I don't remember his last few fights.
Yeah, I
as
don't
much,
either.
but I mean, I don't know. This is one of those things that just happened so fast.
Right. It's hard to take away a lot from it, I think.
Radke's stock like definitely goes up. I mean, viral moment, fast as hell. But like, I mean, you're not really learning too much, like you said. But I mean, you got the KO at least. It's definitely good for his career. It can't hurt him.
Moving up, Elizu Zaleski dos Santos, KO1 over Zach Scroggin, a late replacement. It's less than a week, more than a day, for whatever that's worth. But Zach Scroggin just was not prepared for a lot. And it was a dominant performance from Elizu, but I don't know. It was kind of a lame stoppage. I think so anyway. Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of sad. Karolina Kowalkiewicz, I think I got that one. 15th at strawweight, fought Denise Gomes. Denise won by UD. Pretty unremarkable fight.
Yeah, it was not very memorable.
Moving up to the main portion, Mansour Abdulmalik stops Dusko Todorovic in the second. So, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, nice kill.
Gillian Robertson, UD over Luana Pinheiro, 14th and 13th at strawweight, respectively. Gaston Bolanos versus Cortavius Romeus. This was a cool one. I had fun watching that one. Just two very excellent names. Gaston versus Cortavius. It's wonderful. All right, in the co-main, Rainier de Ritter submits Gerald Mearshart in the third.
I'm not gonna lie, even though RDR got the win, I feel like obviously he's coming in with like hype and everything, but I feel like he's primed for a fraud check. But I mean, he got the win. I'm not gonna like criticize too much. Definitely his first fight has like the UFC jitters, like with the debut and everything. Maybe not, but I don't know. We definitely have to be careful, and I think odds will reflect that in whatever his next matchup is.
In the main event, 15th rated welterweight Neil Magny is ended by Carlos Prates.
This knockout was, whenever it happened, I was so confused as to what actually happened, because I thought like he was knocked out by just wind. Like I thought it was a miss, but it was just the phantom punch. It did connect.
Those sneaky
Prates'
little
power,
check shots, right?
Yeah, like it made contact like right on the ear area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was rough. Yeah, I can see why he went out.
Yeah, this is the gatekeeper got gate kept. So
Yeah,
and Prates looks legit now.
Yeah.
That's a statement win.
yeah. Prates looks good, man. Fighting nerds, they have been up.
He is now in the rankings at 13. He's above Vicente Luque and Michael Page. Fun. Who would be next for Prates? Jeff Neal?
Shit. Jeff Neal.
Yeah, if you wanted to give him the other half of the division's perennial gatekeepers,
Yep.
that would be the next fight.
I could see them trying to Gilbert Burns, honestly. I could see them doing that.
That wouldn't be bad either. Gilbert's like fairly washed now, so I mean,
Yeah,
now would be the time to cash it in.
yeah. One last ride, as they said.
There you go. That's UFC Fight Night on the 9th. It was a party. The Duran Ennis fight was happening at the same time, so I didn't see this live. Terrible coaching. Moving into previews here. There's some like lower level 1FC stuff happening. You can watch it for free. Watch.1fc.com. It's totally free. You can watch it live or replays. But on Saturday, November 23rd, at the Galaxy Arena in the Macau Special Administrative Region in the Western Taiwanese provinces. Good stuff. Peter, is it Peter or Piotr? I hear both. Piotr? Okay. Is fighting Davis and Figueiredo, 3rd and 5th at bantamweight, respectively. Let's start from the bottom up. Maheshate versus Nicholas Mota, lightweights. Xiaolong versus Quang Lei, bantams. Lonir Kavanaugh versus Jose Ochoa, flies. Oh, jeez, this is bad. Niam Jargal, I'm going with that. Carlos Hernandez, flyweights. Niam Jargal is undefeated, 8-0, so that's fun. Moving up, these are a lot of finales to Road to UFC. Shi Ming versus Feng Xiaokan, strawweights. Kiru Sahota versus Donghoon Chue, flies. Bear Gang, oh Jesus, you're getting Bear Gang, sorry bud. Versus Su Youngyu, bantams. And Xiebin versus Zhu Kangjie, feathers. Because it's in Macau, the timing is fucking weird. This starts at midnight on the West Coast, 3 a.m. on the East. Not
wake up early.
Yeah, or just don't go to sleep on Friday.
I'm glad to be East Coast. Stuff like this is makeable. Main card starts at 6.
Yeah, if you're on the East Coast, the main card shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, review good.
Moving in to the main portion, Zhang Mingyang versus Ozzy Diaz, light heavies. Volkan Ozdemir, 8th at light heavy versus 10th rated Carlos Ulberg. Wang Kong, she is the ultimate fucking casual number 1 flyweight. Wang Kong versus Gabriela Fernandez. Song Kenan versus Muslim Salikov, welters. Co-main event, Yan Xiaonan, 2nd at strawweight versus 10th rated Tabitha Ricci. I don't think this is going to go well for Tabitha, but I don't know that much about her.
Yeah, Yan's been on a tear recently. I mean, I know she lost the Weili and everything, but Yan's been on a tear.
Yeah.
I think she's probably going to get the win. But we'll see. Should be fun, I think.
I think this is like a showcase, a Chinese showcase fight for her. Put her in front of her hometown crowd, her countrymen, and give her a fight that's respectable-ish on paper, but it's probably going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
And Piotr Jan versus Davison Figueiredo.
Crazy main event.
Yes.
I got to say. Like, this is perfect matchmaking.
And a big crossroads moment for Piotr Jan, and really for Davidson, because Davidson's been working his way up to, like, really into title contention after losing the Moreno quadrilogy. And I mean, he's killing everyone he's faced, and I mean, if he wins here, he's basically one of a few that would get a shot next at Merab, I would think.
After the Nurmagomedov fight?
Well, probably even before that. I don't think they're going to give Umar next shot.
Yeah, it's like it might be Merab Sean too.
But on the flip side, though, it's Jan's turn to kind of reassert himself as, hey, this was my belt, this was my division, and if he wins here, I mean, he's right back in that shot too.
Yeah, this is gonna be a barn burner though. Like, this is like some crazy matchmaking, like perfect. Like, any people that don't like MMA because of like all the grappling, I mean, there's probably gonna be a little bit of grappling in this. Both have some, but these guys are some dynamic strikers. Kicks as well gonna be thrown. I mean, this is gonna be a crazy fight when it is in the stand-up, and there's gonna be power. These guys have like serious power that they're gonna be throwing. So yeah, I'm honestly not too sure who's gonna win this. I think I would slightly lean towards Jan, but Figgy has been on a tear at bantamweight recently. He's making like this one last run because he is getting older, but it's been working well so far. This should be a great fight.
He was a career flyweight, right?
Yep.
Yeah. He always had like weight issues at flyweight. He says he feels much better now at bantamweight. So I'm glad things have been working out for him in this division too.
Yeah, and that's really been evidenced by the fact that his power is carried up to bantamweight. Like he must have been like shaving parts of his flesh off to make flyweight.
Yeah, I mean the fact that he cracked Cheeto when even a knee from O'Malley, a jump knee from O'Malley, like didn't even phase him. Like I mean his power is real. Like there's no concern with power here in this division.
I will say this is probably Jan's last chance, even though he's so highly ranked, because we saw him get dominated by Merab, and so it's like if he can't find a way past Fig, he's really toast. I mean, maybe he won't. I wouldn't say he's on the cusp of retirement, but as far as like elite challenging status, he has to get past Fig here. And I know that sounds like harsh to say, but it's probably true.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a major setback if he lost here. He'd have to go back to fighting guys, like 5 to 10, and he's like sort of just gone through that. I know he just signed a contract with the UFC. I think it's like 3 more years.
Yeah, it's like an eight fight deal or something like that.
So like his spot is secured, but in terms of like, how long does he really want to be working towards the title? If he wins this one, he's still in the conversation and like right at the top. So yeah, I would say, I think he knows this is like a must win if he wants to, be somewhat in his prime challenging for the title. This sets him up real nice.
He's been on a rough go, looking back at his record. So he beat Yadong recently. Oh, like that's it.
Yeah, he's fought like killers in this division.
Yeah,
and like he's had a lot of exciting fights. Like Jan versus Sandhagen was an incredible fight, where Jan got the win against Corey, in that one. But let's see, he's fought Sean, another great fight. Got ragdolled by Merab. Trying to see who else too. Obviously the Aljo
twice.
Lost as well. Yeah, that's what started everything.
Man, to lose to Sterling, come back and beat Sandhagen, then to follow that up with losing to Sterling again, followed by O'Malley, followed by Merab. That's a bad break.
Yeah, I mean, just facing the killers. I mean, it's what you're supposed to do, but
yes,
definitely unlucky for him.
Man, the main portion starts at 3 in the morning on the west, 6 on the east. So what we're probably looking at, main event 5, 6 on the west?
Something like that, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm probably going to start watching like as soon as I wake up, breakfast. But like, if you don't like, this card is probably going to have some sleepers on it, especially down in the prelims. I'm not going to speak to anything because I don't know the majority of these fighters. But if you want to start watching like where it gets sort of important, the Ozdemir and Ulberg fight.
That's good.
That fight is actually pretty important at light heavyweight. Ulberg has been on tear recently. If he wins here, honestly, he's 1 or 2 fights away from a potential title shot with how things are looking at light heavyweight. But that should be a good matchup because Ozdemir has been doing well recently too. Wayne Kong, her hype is high right now. I'm definitely looking forward to her. She got a knockout in her last fight. Muslim Salikov is a decent fighter. Not ranked yet, but I think this might be the fight that gets him ranked. I'm not sure. But then and Yan Chanan, he's saying obviously the home girl should be fine. This should be a fun fight, and then the main event should be fun too. The last like 4 fights on the main card, those should all be decent.
That's it. That's all we got on the docket. Well, I'm just gonna check, see if there's any TMZ stuff worth talking about. Aspinall's disrespect cost him the fight. What? I
was gonna say that like there was some like John said something along the lines of like, Tom's just such an asshole. That's why I don't want to do business with him. And then there's the clip of the last time he fought where he's like, "No disrespect, man. I just think I'm better than you." Like the classiest like call out of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying you suck or anything. I can beat you. That's it.
Jones literally has like just the schizophrenic voices in his head telling him what he needs to hear to avoid this fight.
Get that Homelander mentality to him.
God, that's really accurate.
Yeah.
Bonesy needs his.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, Umar Khan calls out Francis Ngannou.
Mm.
Like, Rug's gonna fucking die, but I still want to see it. Rug's not that much better than the guys Henan Fajera that Francis just fought.
Mm-hmm. It's got to get that PFL money, man.
Yeah, get it how you can.
Yeah, that's that cash out, bro.
Yeah.
That cash out. He knows he would get beat.
So, Ngannou's from Cameroon. Umar Khan is from Senegal. Oh, Senegal's on the west coast. Yeah, but like, I don't know, you could do that in either of those places if you wanted to have a truly an African showdown. And that's all we got, though.
Real quick, another thing I just wanted to ask you guys about was like the whole Netflix thing. Was it a success? Was it like not a success? Like, how did you guys feel about it?
Complete failure. I mean,
Jesus
it's
Christ.
cool. It's cool that you could just log into Netflix and watch a fight. Like, in theory, that would be awesome if more cards happen like that. But I have to be able to actually watch the fight to enjoy it.
Yeah, it started decaying like around the Katie Taylor fight. Pixelated, like buffering, just crashing. I don't know like why they. I mean, I'm assuming it was like a server issue or something. I don't know if they didn't expect that many people to show up. Or,
I don't think they expected that many
or
people.
what happened. Would you have confidence in a second event?
Yes.
I think I would actually have confidence in a second event. Like,
I hope they keep doing it. Like, my complaints now are not a condemnation of them ever doing it again. I think the business model would be way better if we didn't have to, pay $70 to watch,
Every
a couple
single
hours of
fucking
fights.
fight.
Yeah.
Jesus.
yeah, I think they should continue doing it. Obviously some fixes to make, but it was their first attempt.
Yeah,
And
like,
yeah, I mean,
as we were watching it, in the chat, a lot of my fellow IT nerds, like, we were like speculating on what it is, and like for me, I joked like, "Did you have the fucking intern do all the server updates today? Why? What the hell's the matter with you all?" Like, but like having that many active concurrent sessions is taxing when you have to maintain as big of a library as they do as well, keeping all of that available. So there's automation technology that works to correct that stuff like that. I believe it's called Kubernetes. That's how it's pronounced. It auto shifts resources from less utilized content and moves it to whatever's in demand.
Okay. I mean, Netflix is rich as hell, so like,
Right.
they should.
I'm sure they have it.
Like, if this cannot happen again. Like, I would be much more. Like, I would be more harsh.
Yes.
If another event like this and it happened again. I think they're doing an NFL game later this year. I'm not too sure, but I think they're doing an NFL game, and these same issues that happened tonight cannot happen then. It's going to be loaded to the max again.
That's going to be a
hopefully-
fraction, though. If it's like a regular season game, it's just going to be a fraction of the...
I think it's like a Christmas game.
A what?
Like, I think it's like actually like a Christmas game.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so it's I think, I'm not too sure, but I think it's like a Christmas game, so it's a lot of people should be watching.
Yeah. Interesting. First event, growing pains, shit happens. The first PBC on Prime card, like, it wasn't perfect. It was good because PBC has experience already, but it wasn't perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So Netflix, they're just getting into the live events, into the live event realm. So yeah,
You gotta say get more mics, bro, and earpieces as well.
Yeah.
They had a Holyfield, or they had Lennox Lewis whispering in Holyfield's ear at the analyst table.
Yeah,
That was hilarious. Like I said, there were some very funny moments to come out of this card. That was one of them.
they can't afford to fuck up like this again. They can't. Yeah, or else they're gonna have to get out of the game.
Yeah, I mean they were trending for the wrong reasons on Twitter.
Maybe you want to watch tennis or ping pong tournaments. Then you could watch Netflix because nobody's fucking watching.
It is like maybe one of the downsides of just how the business works, but it's like no one would. You're never gonna get a real test run for this. Even like let's say they just got an NBA game, you might get like 600,000 people to watch that one NBA game. You're not gonna get a situation where you get 50 million people on at once, and that's really
Super
what's
Bowl?
gonna launch you. Yeah, well,
Maybe.
but Netflix is never gonna get the Super
Oh
Bowl
yeah, just
away
those are
from
your
NBC.
only comparables. Is like the Super Bowl, the fucking Champions League final, that type of stuff. Cricket finals in Pakistan and India, and
Mhm. But
America, baby, we wipe them off. Cricket, we're a cricket nation now.
That's right. We got enough people to move from India that we have the personnel
got the
now
talent.
to do it.
Yep. Let's fucking get wrapped up here. Let me find something to make noises with. Thanks for listening to this episode of The Ultimate Effing Casual, a Lux Media production. If you'd like to give your thoughts, or you just need to let us know how terrible you think our takes are, you can be a lame and text our anonymous line, 833-589-7637. If you want to stand on business, call and leave a voice message, and we'll see if you're interesting enough to make the final cut of the show. 833-LUX-PODS. Can't go wrong. If you prefer to hit us up on social media, the account name is LVX Media Net, all one word. That's YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all the rest of that bullshit. If you can't find us, chances are we're not on it. A lot of stuff gets cut out from final releases for all kinds of reasons. So if you want the raw audio, exactly as it's recorded, look us up on Patreon. LVX Media Net over there, just like everywhere else. Even if you don't sign up on Patreon, you can still help us out a lot if you hit us with a rating on whatever app you're listening on. If you're not feeling a $5, have our number, or you can hit the DMs. Let us know how we can earn that full $5. The metal intros by Anders Janhunen, the jazzy intros by the artist Afternoon, outro by Middle of Nowhere Beats, and for more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lvxmedia.net. All right, cool. Outro shit goes there. So we heading into Macau Fight Night weekend. What are our parting words?
You go first, and then I feel like I go first too much.
Parting words is, I guess, for Davidson, we've got an excellent fight coming up. I like Petr Yan, but I'm really hoping that Davidson gets another title shot in the near future. It's a hell of a fight. It's definitely, if you're gonna wake up early for anything, I think this card is worth it. There's a lot of talent in it throughout the prelims, so get you some Waffle House and get to watching.
Ooh, that sounds like a good idea.
I'm honestly a little bit hungry right now, and I've been trying to think of parting words, but I can't really do it. So I'm just gonna talk about food at the moment. Everyone out there, try more food. Don't be scared to try food. I'm not talking about like eat like healthy or anything like that. I mean, obviously do that too, but don't be scared to try new foods. Don't be scared to try new foods. There's a lot of good cuisines out there, a lot of good dishes.
I'm glad that you clarified that it wasn't about health, because I thought it was about to become like an RFK ad.
I mean, mix some health in there for sure, obviously, but just in general, try more food. Even unhealthy shit, it's okay in moderation.
RFK. God. Wow. Yes.
He ate McDonald's. He's been caught red-handed.
He looked like he was in pain being
Yeah.
at that McDonald's.
What's it? I keep thinking as well. If it's a quarter pounder, it's even more funny.
Yeah. Let's see. Do I have anything? For like, as far as trying new foods, something I consider myself an adventurous eater, and one line I try to use to try to persuade people to try more stuff that they normally wouldn't is life begins at the end of your comfort zone. So if you're just gonna sit in McDonald's eating fucking quarter pounders all your life, well, that's fucking boring. I guess if you want to do that, go ahead, but
I agree.
I will say, fucking please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Fucking new videos, every so often, because I'm still learning how to make them. But that's it. heading into Macau. Picks. Just hard and fast. What do you got?
Olberg, Wayne Kong, Salikov, Shonan. I think Jan's gonna get it. Honestly, it's very, very close, but I think Jan's gonna get it.
Yeah, I think I agree with you across the board until we get to the main event. I'm riding with Fig.
There you have it. See how it turns out.
Pretty good.
All right, catch you guys next time.
See ya.
Babu.